Welcome back to HashrateUp. Today is a bit of a different one. I want to share Bushmining with you. This is a project that I recently released together with my partner Conrad. We've been working on our pilot project for a bit over a year now. We recently sent it live, so it is hashing, and I want to take this opportunity to introduce the project to you guys. HashrateUp, hardware sales, advisory, hosting, and site brokerage. Find new and used ASIC deals through the website and the Telegram channel below. Make smarter decisions with HashrateUp. So bushmining.com, turning wasted power into revenue. We monetize your excess energy with flexible compute and create revenue. We only use what would be wasted. Your needs always come first. So that's the idea, introducing flexible compute into energy generation wherever it may be located, right? It can be a farm, it can be excess solar, it can be excess hydro, anything where there's power surplus, we could come in and soak that surplus up. And so we recently sent our pilot project in the Eastern Cape of South Africa live, and I will show you that in a minute. Spare power comes in many forms, and on most sites, it simply goes to waste. We turn it into income. Any site with surplus energy can qualify and nothing changes for you. So that is the promise, right? After a bit of dialing in and leaving a safety margin, the idea is that the flexible compute soaks up all the stranded power that would otherwise go to waste and turns it into a revenue, creating a win-win situation for everybody involved, right? So we do a site survey first, then we add the flexible load where it is necessary or where it makes sense, and then we start our operations. We always make sure that local needs come first. So if there is a local production involved, for instance, that has excess solar, we make sure that the solar first goes to where it's used most productively, and only when there's stranded power, we come in, right? So we use what's left. Here you can see an example versus the power you generate versus the power you consume on the bottom, power you generate on the top. There's a delta there, and that's what we're after, right? We're not after the power that would otherwise be used more productively elsewhere. When your site needs power, we step aside. So importantly, we can switch off extremely quickly. Switching on is less relevant. That also happens rather quickly. But most importantly, when power is suddenly needed elsewhere, we can almost instantly shut off. In our pilot projects, we have 40 kilowatts, 100% load, and we can switch that off to less than 2 megawatts, including auxiliary demand for switches and inverters and all of that stuff, in under 0.4 seconds, 0.36 seconds to be precise. So this is what that looks like. Flexible compute instantly shuts off and the site demand rises, and then we make sure that we give way, basically. We have a power source. That's where it all starts. Surplus power from solar, hydro, wind, biogas, genset, or a hybrid system. We introduce metering and control to make sure that we understand how much power is being wasted or available. And then we add the flexible compute according to that data. And when it's running, we have remote operations, making sure that everything runs smoothly and nothing interferes with the local demand. The load follows the site, so we can run when surplus is available. We can throttle our demand when local demand is rising. And then also we're able to just stand by and not consume basically any power when there is no safe surplus to do so. This is our pilot site. Buying Bitcoin miners should be simple, safe, and fast. Altair Technology delivers exactly that. Based in the US and shipping directly from St. Louis, Altair eliminates all the shady messaging groups, customs and tariffs issues, and makes sure Bitcoin miners get to you on time. Altair stocks leading commercial ASIC miners, efficient home units, and all the critical parts you need, backed by real inventory, real support, and a team of people that you can rely on and actually mines Bitcoin. Thank you so much, Altair Technology, for supporting the show. And without further ado, let's get back to it. It's a small hydro dam in the Eastern Cape on a farm. This is an islanded grid, so these guys on the farm have to consume the power locally one way or another. They cannot offload the excess to the national grid. Flexible compute gives spare generation a productive job without changing farm priorities. Formerly, surplus energy was just generating heat to keep the system stable. Now it can create value. That is the goal, right? You'd waste electricity basically because there's no use for it in that moment where it is created. And so the only option they had before we came was to turn it into heat. This is very scalable. We can do it with one machine, 500 machines, it doesn't matter. Half a megawatt of flexible load roughly fits into a 20-foot shipping container, full megawatt into a 40-foot one, and you can scale from there. Farm priorities stays first, surplus becomes income, and it's scalable. We have load controllers on site that make sure, again, that we only use what is available, and then we can flexibly adjust the response behavior also depending on what the site needs. We have the 40 kilowatt hydro dam here. I think it's nearly 40 years old. We have the turbines here that still hum beautifully, beautiful engineering work. We have my partner Conrad here who is carrying around 2 ASICs. And this is what they had before, right? So that beforehand, they would waste the power and produce heat in order for the generator to run at 50 hertz and have something to run against. Because remember, energy production always has to equal energy supply to keep the system stable at 50 hertz in South Africa. So this is what they used beforehand, existing dump load style hardware. Many sites already dump excess power as heat. Bushmining improves the idea. Keep the flexible load, but make it productive. So we have this flexible load option. Should we go offline for any reason, then we will just revert back to the old solution basically. But the goal is to keep the electricity going to this dump load at a minimum. These are our machines that we can turn off and on autonomously according, again, to how much power is available. You can see we're in the middle of nowhere on a farm in the Eastern Cape. And so it works really nicely. I'll do another video to showcase the customer portal. Once that is live, then we can look at live data from the site and I can get you guys a bit more insights into how that all works. If you have a site, if you want to build a hydro dam, please reach out. We can help generate revenue on that energy asset much more quickly than any other load can. We're very flexible and scalable. So have a look at bushmining.com. Reach out with any questions that remain. Leave a like, follow, and subscription on the channel. If you like this video, let me know again what comments or questions you have, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. If you have contacts, friends, family, business contacts that have this exact problem, stranded wind, stranded solar, stranded hydro that could be built, but there's no real economic use case for it. These are all scenarios where we could potentially come in and help to make the project viable and hopefully make everybody some more money with infrastructure that already exists. With that being said, bushmining.com, have a look at the website. All the best. Peace.